So, as the thumbnail may have clued you in, and I completely forgot what else I was going to talk about this video, but yeah, we're going to be playing as Ayaka. Ayath ill-fated character exclusive Ayaka. So, let's just make sure we are on ill-fated, because I said Knight Errant thinking I was on ill-fated, and that wasn't the case. Also, I'm still going to be coughing up a storm in this video, but I'll explain that in a bit. Where's Ayaka again? I don't play Ayaka often. Anywho, hey, first try. But, as we get ill-fated here, and we're pretty much on everything else that is normal. We're even on Ath. So as we get into Ath, ill-fated character exclusive Ayaka. Oh my goodness, I accidentally opened up a thing. Now OBS is going to slow down. Well, hey, I'll deal with it when it happens. So, in about a few seconds. Dexterity, second mystery, second encounter, strength, light, and maybe charisma. But yeah, I'm going to be coughing up a storm still because even though I don't feel sick anymore, like I'm not bedridden, but I wouldn't say it's the tail end of a sickness. It's the ongoing congestion of the spring season, and it doesn't actually matter. I could probably be living in Antarctica. I'm not, obviously, but or I could be living in a desert, and I would be just as congested as I am now. I don't know what it is specifically, and obviously plant life can have things to do with it, but it's just specifically during spring, and you'd think it happened during summer, but apparently it doesn't, I don't think. Not that I remember, even though I should, because every spring I know I get congested. Which means I should be recording if I get congested in summer as well. Sailors, painting, will do 3 custom mysteries. Frogs, no Kana, Colt instead, and Auteur. Auteur? I never know if I'm pronouncing that right. Anyway, painting and sailors are going to be saved for later, so I guess I'm taking frogs now. Branded into fungal growth, sure, why not? We'll grab Ayaka's chalk because it does more than what you think, I think. But if you don't fight a lot of ghosts, if you don't fight like 2 or more ghosts, it's kind of, oh my goodness, and then I loaded up a thing as if I was going to do something. So the thing I just loaded up, you're not going to hear any sounds, like you're not going to get a clip out of this, and even if you could, I'm not streaming. So hey, Doom effigy, by the way. But I am still going to increase strength. And we're going to visit the History Club once or twice just to see if we can get Blood Mania, Mind Drain, and Gruesome Totem. The latter on a non-Akamoto run, but Blood Mania is where you want to be. And then we'll just take funds here, because we're probably going to take that. Now, if I get 2 flashbacks here, die, I guess. But we'll live with it for now, because we can, and we'll police station downtown, and off we go. We are now Omega Ayaka, so long as we soon get Eldritch Possession. That's really the only thing I'm worried about. We are on ill-fated, so... Although that being said, it's not like it matters anyway. On when I have Eldritch Possession, I roll 10s to 12s anyway, 50% of the time, so it's not like it really matters. Yeah, the game is really, really slowing down. But I wonder if it was just I wonder what causes that. Anyway, I do wonder if it's having too many custom events and whatnot, but that would be really weird. I'm now badly bleeding as well, but we can take this moment to get rid of that and while getting painkillers. That's fine, but I'm in pain. So, yeah, let's continue finding out. Did I actually... I wonder if a thing's gonna have... Anyway, I don't think I've yet closed the thing that I opened, but we're still here. Okay, anyway, into what I actually want to talk about. So by this time, I really should be taking Guaranteed out. So I keep forgetting I'm on ill-fated. But around this time, yeah, so the thing to talk about, I guess the main part of this video, is the rising prices. Basically, I'm not going to be getting a Switch 2. I'll just say it outright, because there's no shame in that. And it's not even because I dislike the high prices, which I do, but and that's just the nature of economy, right? Like, I can't really say much about it, but I was just making sure I'm okay in that event. But I mean, even if I wanted to, I don't have the resources, so guess I'm gonna stick with anything on PC, Steam, itch.io, so on and so forth. That's just me. Also, on a very, not random note, but on a separate note, that's right, I have Blood Mania, woo! But then I can only fit one of these so far. On that note, so I'm gonna name drop their name one more time, just for this, because they're the most relevant thing. But yeah, Toby Fox. So the thing I'll say, just if you want some behind-the-scenes things for funsies, 3 out of 4, please? Please. Okay, good. Is that when I saw that happen, and I saw chapters 3 and 4 announced for Deltarune, something I like to say, just as a normal phrase, is they've gone mad with power. That doesn't mean they're doing anything nefarious or whatnot. It could, but usually I say it in a jest way, where they, along the lines of they've gone out of their mind, but more in that they have, they've gone mad with power in that, you know, they're doing something really good, or they're doing something that they really want to do, and I foresee it, or there's a good chance that it's very successful. So that's why I'm, you know, it's kind of my way of supporting someone, if you hear me say that out loud. Period. That's all I really have to say at the moment. I just realized that I still have flashbacks, but thankfully, we didn't get punished. Although, 2 flashbacks would have had to hit me in the face for me to still be threatened, because now we have Eldritch Possession. But, yeah, so I'm just sitting in the... And I do that often, pretty much... There's only been 1 or 2 reveal events. Not reveal events, but events where, you know, whether it's a console, whether it is a brand, where I don't say they've gone mad with power, usually at a dev, an individual, a game, so on and so forth. But... Hey, that's right, I should be taking guaranteed outs, but I keep forgetting. I'm Ayaka, I'm Omega Ayaka right now, so I don't really feel that threatened at the moment, but you never know, right? But yeah, that's the thing. So, rewinding back to my lack of resources. Again, that's really mainly due to me. I should be doing better in life, but I am my own reason for failing. Whether it's valid or not, although most of it is yeah, I should be doing more when I am... unable to for whatever reason, so... Oh, that's right, we have panic. I would like to get rid of that. That actually hurts my accuracy a lot more than expected. So, having to roll on 4 70% is a lot worse than rolling on 4 80%, if that makes any sense. Let's just take this injury in the face. Broken nose, we're not really planning to rest. We'll get rid of it if we need to, but we shouldn't need to. So yeah, and then back to the thesis statement, which is I'm not getting a Switch 2, at least planned, I think in June, right? It comes out in June. For some reason I thought April, but April is another showcase. But hey, I will actually fight this. But yeah, it's just a lack of resources, and I don't have $500+ to put down. It's really gonna be fine. It's like it's in the middle of 400, but like... Basically, I would understand why, especially kids, switch obviously this console is going to be geared towards, obviously, not obviously, but there is some precedent in my mind, and it's not like I'm some completely knowledgeable person or have connections or anything, it's just that, and I don't have connections anyway, but from my perspective, at least, if that even makes a little bit of a difference, I hope, but, yeah, there is some worth in holding the old blood, but at the same time, Nintendo. We'll just say it. Nintendo is primarily geared towards the younger ages, if nothing else, low 20s and below. But obviously, they have support and they have content and games for older audiences. If the the Fit series is anything to go by. But it's also something that can be used by lower... Hey, we're ill-fated, so failing all of these is actually good for us. But, let's continue moving on here. Yeah, that we don't want to fail. But, yeah, as for me, I just don't have the resources, so we'll deal. And even if I did, it would be a hard buy, because, yeah, even though a lot of people... I don't doubt it'll be successful, and to move into the next topic of also, you know, GTA 6 and whatnot... the rising prices and whatnot, like, things are going to succeed, but I think it's going to be... What's the way I want to say this that would help you understand my viewpoint the most? And I am failing to find the words at the moment. Ow, coughing blood, but... Man, I have a lot of dexterity injuries. Let's get at least one of those treated. Really only one, because flashbacks I would be getting rid of instead, but hey. I can't, I'm failing to say. I can think of it in my mind. Oh, that's reason, by the way. RIP. We'll just risk it. If we die here, we die here. But... Oh, what was I trying to say? Gosh dang it, I completely forgot. We'll take these painkillers now. I do think... we have quick thinking, right? For the end of this mystery? I think so. I'm gonna try to hold out to get the restless bonus here, but we'll see. I don't know if reason loss is guaranteed due to event ill-fated RNG, but we'll see. So, well, we can't do anything here yet until we get to the part, and that's reason. Hopefully I have a spell. We do. So we get to live for the moment. And then we have quick thinking here, question mark? Yeah. I think we have another perk too, but hey. Or maybe it's a clue, but again, we'll see. Hopefully we're not losing too much reason, and after that, hopefully we hit all of these. I completely forgot how I wanted to say what I was going to say. I really missed that last one. And then I got a mingled hand now. But anyway, had a cough. So what was I telling you? Yeah, prices. Yeah, prices. But again, this is part of the economy. I understand why it happens, at least for me. Yeah, well, oh, that's what I want to say. So basically, a lot of the studios that still are going to have their games come out successfully are still going to be successful, because they haven't lost their trust yet. So while, and that's kind of that can be a turning point. Some people will think that they'll power through and the game will still sell millions. Yeah, that's true, but a downward trend. It's hard to see a downward trend make a U-turn, basically, if that makes any sense to say. Sixth reason, double hallucinations, by the way, but thankfully we have Eldritch Possession. So yeah, the next thesis statement, or the next point I want to get on is, yeah, so obviously Rockstar has not lost their trust yet, and I'm on the side of GTA 6 doing well, but some people foresee it not. We're in a speculative phase, I think. But at the same time, I have a lot of not reliable sources, but people with good foresight not foreseeing good things for GTA 6, but I do think it'll still sell well. But if it is going to do terribly, it'll be the point at which trust is lost, if that makes any sense. And some people will say trust is already being lost, but I don't think you can really argue that the game will still sell well. And there are a lot of other nuances to this. Like, there's a lot of nuance. There's a lot of nuance to this. Let me just keep saying that because it's kind of important. But as we grab this flashlight really quickly, the same will be said with, again, releases of consoles and stuff in the future, and games that continue to come out expensive as they are. And again, it's not like both sides aren't justified either. On one side, the cost of making a game, for at least those who are experiencing rises in costs, is going up. But at the same time, on the side of the consumer, that's just a lot of money to put down, and when you only have so much money, like... No, that's not right. I won't say that, but I will say... Oh, that's right. Well, actually, that's his guaranteed cursing, so hey, I'll take it. But, funny enough, we could fight this if you wanted to... Yeah, let's actually fight this. But, if people only have... So basically, if someone has $200, and they... We'll even assume they keep making $200 to, like, freely spend, and they don't go out, like, they're primarily focused on gaming, then what's gonna happen is that as games get more expensive, they can only buy, 2 games or whatnot. And then maybe they're saving for a Switch 2 now, and so they get the Switch 2 plus the Mario Kart package. And that's pretty much all they're going to be able to get. Maybe one more game after that, but we'll see. We're also just going to gamble the farm on this. No point throwing both of the... Well, actually there is. Because we will be able to defeat this boss with less attacks. Perfectly. So, we'll do that. But... Yeah, so if you only have $200 to spend each month, and games suddenly cost $100, as opposed to when they cost $7 or $80, you could try to squeeze out 3 games if you, like, do some budget costs here for the sake of your own, hobby. And again, we're assuming this isn't even, like, the normal person, right? These are actual just gamers. So if gamers are already having that much trouble, imagine someone who, actually likes to go out, brings people over, spends money for those things, and then decides, hey, I have like $100 for a game. Oh, I can only buy 1 game. So, and again, we're not including Steam and other storefronts and indie devs who I think are going to be the winners here because, if larger companies are going to continue increasing the prices of their games, but then you have, I don't mean this derogatory, if you have Joe Schmo walking, I should have just taken the Doom here, I completely forgot. We can rest here for a moment, but we do have fetid fumes, so rip. But, yeah, if Joe Schmo decides to make a game, and, they only need 200 people to buy their game for, like, $3, they're like, wow, this is pretty good. That's pretty good. You would be, not hard-pressed, but, that's not bad for your first game, if your name is Joe Schmo. So, like, I would be included in that, by the way. So... you start small and you work big, and obviously indie game devs, you know, they can price their products and games however they want. So if their price stays the same at a very low price, anywhere from $5 to $20 usually, unless you're going out of your mind and try to ride the wave, I don't recommend that, but that's just my advice. Then sure, whatever you do works. But I do think smaller game devs, companies, and whatnot are going to win out. Because of are going to experience an advantage, if that makes any sense. But I guess we'll see. I could be wrong. I'm not gonna say. I would say if I had to put a percentage on my confidence, I'd say around 82%. So 82% chance that indie game devs just, you know, are gonna be pulling ahead in the next pretty much generate, as long as nothing changes with the rising prices of video games. I'm sure the trend will continue moving upward. That's just inevitable with how larger companies and developers want to improve their products. And again, it's not always developers that get the choice to. Sometimes there are decisions from other sectors or other parts of the company that decide to. I'm just saying that it doesn't seem feasible unless there's a factor I'm not considering. And there are a few at least, but in my mind, from what I see, and obviously what I personally experience, yeah, when Deltarune comes out, maybe Deltarune is finally $40, $50, but that's half the price and probably more of an experience that you get from a game that a lot of people are probably just going to play once and not play anymore. Now, obviously, there are other things here, and we're not including people who heavily play a game for any reason. I completely forgot my second mystery, by the way, and encounter, but I'm pretty sure it was a custom mystery. I think it was Colt. Yeah, because I took frogs first. But yeah, and yeah, you can play devil's advocate and say something along the lines of, you know, you pay $100 for a video game, but that's still, you know, you can use my own logic that I've said in the past against me. That's still cheaper than going to a theater over and over again. Actually, it may not be, depending on where you live. But in my experience, you know, $100 game, if you're putting even just 20 plus hours, which is easy to do if you really like a game, into something, then yeah, it's going to. I completely guessed here, by the way. I mean, there's kind of educated. It was a cult member of some sort, but. Yeah, I'll close out this topic. So even though I kind of just autopiloted because we're Ayaka, granted. Did we run to a single Ayaka custom event? It's going to be hard because I have a lot of custom events, but hopefully this recording makes it out. So yeah, this last minute or two is going to be talking over this current state of things because it's important and it's somewhat relevant to me as a game developer too. But yeah, the rising cost, I mean, yeah, going to a theater at least 2 or 3 times, because that's probably going to be the case, is still, if nothing else, breaks even with buying a video game and playing it at the luxury of your own home. So, hey, and yeah, movie tickets really, for me, they cost like 10 to 20 upwards, and then you buy food and whatnot. So, and then if you go along with others, it can be a lot. But that's the, again, yeah, I look at things as a time investment thing, but obviously there's a portion of it that's the experience of going to a theater that is the most valuable to some people, and I won't downplay that. That's one nuance of the whole theater versus buying a movie or a game topic. But just to rewind back to the rising prices of video games, yeah, that's anything else I can say would be mere speculation. I don't agree with it, but I see why it's happening. Just like how I talked about in my previous video, the topic of AI, I don't agree with it entirely, but I see where it's going. So again, whatever happens, we'll see what happens. We'll see who's right. Basically, my prediction is that in smaller companies and devs and indie game devs are just going to see more success, at least. That's the bare minimum, but I think they actually might pull ahead because, well, they're already pulling ahead. I mean, you can see it. We know, right? And if I'm wrong, please let me know. If you have anything to which brings me into, yeah, if you have anything to say, let me know in the comment section. Otherwise, I will do my best. If you want to support me in any way, if you want to support me monetarily, yeah, just wait for a game that I'm making to come out. Whether you donate, I don't really plan to make at least more than 2 of them cost anything, but a third project that I'm working on is definitely going to cost something out the gate. So we'll see. I normally plan for a free version and a paid version of my game, so again, wait for that. Otherwise, if you just want to donate because you feel something, that would actually help out the earliest, because the threshold for, if you don't know the behind the scenes, and I think this is okay to say because it's all on all sites. No matter what site you use, it's all out there. The threshold for withdrawing and, you know, making use of that money for myself, for game dev, for my support, is a lot easier than it is here on this channel, basically. So yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you later. Bye!